I will be discussing advanced code editing in R using RStudio, this one. The first thing I'll do is Control F, which is find. Of course, everybody knows about it, but what's good about this is that we can change, for example, the unlist, everything, and change it to list. There, all the unlist became list already. The second one is we want to discuss about is the code folding or collapse. For example, I want to collapse this. I'll press Alt L. What's the advantage of this is that it allows the user to manage large amount of text while viewing only those subjections of the text that are specifically relevant at any given time. It also manages the source code file. Of course, there are still problems using it. Sometimes programmers forget about the code they collapse. But what's good about this is that we can still run the code even if it's already collapsed. I'll press Ctrl Shift Enter there. Ctrl Shift Enter. Then date submitted, for example, November 6. Prelim grade 88 or 80. And then percentage. There. It's still running the program. And if I want to expand it now, I'll press Alt Shift Enter. There, it's already expanded. And for example, I want to go to the line 44 or 30. I'll be using the Alt Shift G. So for example, like 30, it will redirect me to the line 30, which is this one. It's empty. It's just space. There's also the advantage of using this RStudio. You can use the Control, Alt, Shift up or down. You can have two cursors at a time. It's quite handy when there are lots of code to be typed. So for like S inline input something. There, it's way easier. We can also add some comments for like this is to read the line, and we'll change it to comment by pressing Ctrl Shift C. There's already a comment. And that's all. Thank you.
Hello, so I'm here to talk about code formatting using IntelliJ IDEA as my tool and Kotlin as my language. As you can see, I've created a very simple program using if and else statement that asks the user if they would like to rent a solo bicycle, bicycle with sidecar, go-kart bicycle, or a boat. And it will just output how much it is per hour. So as you can see, my code is very hard to read, looks kind of messy, and looks confusing. So I'm gonna change my format using Control Alt N, and it will instantly format your code, and it will be easy to read. But this is the default. This is the default style of the format in IntelliJ IDEA. If you want to change it, that suits your style, you can go to File, Settings, and Editor. Click on Editor, Code Style, and you can see many languages here. And since I'm using Kotlin, I'm gonna click on Kotlin. So the scheme here is set to default. It means the code style that I'm gonna do is for all the projects that I will be doing in the future, or or when it is project, it is for the current project only, for this current project. So I'm gonna set it to default. So here at tabs and indices, so here the tabs and see, I mean here the indexes. So when I change that to 8, it will add 4 more spaces here, and as you can see, and you can edit it the way you want it, in tab size, continuation indent, something like that. So here at spaces, for example, here you don't like a space between if and before the parentheses of it, you can click here on if or on the while, like the around the operators, before comma, column, arrow, like that. You can experiment on these ones. So, and wrapping and braces, let's move on to wrapping and braces. Uh, you can experiment with this tool. So for example, you want this to be aligned to this one. So since it is when statements, so you can click on align when branches and columns. For example, as you can see, it aligns itself there, and you can experiment here about this other one, method declaration parameters, arguments, parentheses, something like that. Moving on to blank lines. So in declaration, the default is 2, in code 222, but we can use this. For example, the code, you can put A8, something like that. It changed to 8 before the curly braces, or 8 again, something like that. And after editing it, you can click on apply and okay. So I'm gonna press Control Alt M. As you can see, the format changes the way I like it. You can manually format the code using code and click on format code. If you want this to share to your team members, for example, you're working on a program and you want the same format with you, you can go to File and go to Settings, and you can click on Tools and Settings, and you can put your repository URL here, and you can sync it with others. Or if you don't like that, you can go to Editor and Coastal again, and Kotlin. You can click on here, and you can import scheme in IntelliJ IDEA code style XML, and you can share it with your friends. And that's all. Thank you.
So my topic is all about project management tool. The project management tool I chose was Mr. Task because it has the user-friendly interface and has the simple functions that is needed especially for us especially for students who's trying to manage a certain project. While creating a project in Mr. Task, just click this add button and create new project. And after clicking the project, it will ask you what title is your project. For example, I will name it as ProGaps, and you can also add the email address of your members. In my case, I already saved the emails of my members, and it will be directed to their email and accept them. After that, you create project. After you created the project, the user now can be able to create a task. For example, debugging, formatting, and code refactoring. After making this task, the user now can assign this task to a certain member. For example, this debugging, I will assign it to Jan, and there's a choose where you can add checklist item and an attachment. In checklist item is where you can task a member to do something for the debugging. For example, I want him to research debugging, and I can also add attachment where Jan can put the attachment while doing the debugging program. Just click this add attachment, local file, for example, I want him to add the file data in his task. So just open, and the task is already uploaded. So after assigning task to a certain member, you can also add a due date where you want them to pass the task. For example, I want them to pass this on Sunday, and after that, just click outside the box. And another task, formatting, for example, I want him to task to Patrick, and a due date, for example, November 15. And you can also choose here conversation or activity. In conversations, where other members can give their opinions on the formatting task that is given to Patrick. For example, just click there. After assigning the task to certain members, I will now move it to in progress, and it means that these tasks are already being worked to by the members. Every drag or actions that's being made here, it will actually pop up in the notification bar also from the other members, so the members can actually see what is going on. And a new feature also, you can add a new category here, for example, review, where you can add a certain topic where you want the members can review. For example, I want them to review the docu of debugging, something like that. And for example that Jan's already done the task that is given to him. I'll just drag it to done, and after that I'll just click the debugging task and complete. After clicking the complete button, the user will notice that there's a time where it gives the time that the person that is assigned to, the time he consumed on making the project. So there's also the features where you can, or statistics, where you can find this open task, completed task, and overdue task that is already made. But these are only available in pro versions or only in the paid versions. So that's my topic, project management tools.